How can controlled crying help your little one sleep better? Hey parents! Today I want to share something really close to my heart. Something every mom or dad with a little one can relate to. A good night's sleep isn't just a dream for us parents. It's the key to helping our babies grow strong and smart. Sleep helps them learn better, remember more, and develop both physically and mentally. And in my journey to help my baby sleep well, I stumbled upon a method called controlled crying. It might sound a bit strange at first, but it's a way many parents have tried to teach their kids to sleep on their own. So, let me walk you through it with all the honesty and emotion of a parent who's been there. Okay? First, let me give you the big picture. Controlled crying is when we let our baby cry naturally for a set amount of time before stepping in to comfort them. The goal isn't to abandon them, it's to help them learn how to soothe themselves and fall asleep without always needing us right there. This method usually works best when your baby is at least 6 months old or even a toddler. It sounds simple, but there's a lot to keep in mind when you try it. Alright, let's dive into the details now. What exactly is controlled crying? Hey parents, picture this. It's bedtime. And your little one is crying for you to hold them endlessly. I used to wonder, how can I help my baby fall asleep without me rocking them all the time? That's when I learned about controlled crying. It's a sleep training method where we let our baby cry for a little while, but not forever. Okay, the crying time increases gradually, like starting with 2 minutes, then 5 minutes, before we go in to comfort them. The whole point is to teach them how to calm themselves down and drift off to sleep without us always being there. I like to think of it as a middle ground between being super attached and just letting them cry it out. Unlike uncontrolled crying, where you leave them to cry until they're exhausted and fall asleep, the big difference with controlled crying is that we step in if the crying goes on too long. Like more than a few minutes. It makes me feel better knowing I'm not leaving my baby to feel alone. And compared to the no tears method that a lot of attachment-focused parents love, controlled crying is different because it's about helping your baby become more independent. Instead of us always soothing them, they slowly learn to find their own way to sleep. It's hard to believe at first, but I've seen how it can make sense as they grow. How do parents start using controlled crying? Alright, here's where we get practical. When I decided to give this a shot, I waited until my baby was 6 months old. The age experts say is a good starting point. It works for toddlers too. By the way, what I love is how flexible it is. You can use it for naps, bedtime, or even those middle-of-the-night wake-ups. The process is pretty straightforward, but it takes a lot of patience. For example, I'd let my baby cry for 2 minutes before going in to comfort them. Then stretch it to 5 minutes. Then 7 minutes. Each time I went in, I'd just gently reassure them without picking them up right away, so they'd get used to falling back asleep on their own. It sounds easy, but when your baby's crying, your heart just aches. I had to keep telling myself, this is for them, to help them grow stronger. And honestly, after a few days, I started seeing a difference. How do you know if this is right for your baby? Parents, this is where I want to be super real with you. Deciding to try controlled crying, or any sleep training method, is such a personal choice. Some families love cuddling their kids all the time, while others want them to be independent early on. For me, I went with this because I felt it matched my baby's personality and our parenting style. But it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. If your baby's under 6 months, I'd say hold off, they're still too little and need us more. And if they're sick, teething, or hitting a big milestone, I'd pause it too. Those are the times they need our comfort the most, not training. Another big thing is that both mom and dad have to be on board. I tried it once, and my husband wasn't okay with it. He said, I can't stand hearing her cry. So we had to sit down, Talk it out, and agree on a plan. If you're unsure, chat with your doctor. They can give you tailored advice. And if you try it for a couple of weeks and it's not working, don't force it. Maybe try something else or rethink if sleep training fits your baby right now. Does this method actually work? Can you believe that crying can actually help your baby calm down? I read that when they cry, it triggers a part of their nervous system that helps them relax and rest better. It doesn't happen instantly, but after a few minutes of tears, they often settle and feel ready to sleep. I was skeptical at first, but then I saw the research. One study from 2018 said 1 in 4 babies slept better with controlled crying compared to those who didn't try it. Plus, it even boosted parents' moods. And there were no side effects reported after 5 years. Another small study in 2016 with 43 babies showed they fell asleep faster and woke up less at night, with no signs of anxiety or attachment issues later on. Hearing that made me so relieved. But it's not perfect for every situation. For babies under 6 months, it's not recommended because they're still growing so much and their feeding schedules are all over the place. And when your baby's sick or teething, letting them cry can just stress them out more. In those moments, I'd scoop mine up and cuddle them, because that's what they needed most. Little tips to make it easier for parents. Hey parents, if you're ready to give controlled crying a go, I've got some tips from my own experience. First, make sure your baby's well fed during the day. A full tummy means better sleep, right? I'd make sure mine got enough milk or solids while awake. Second, their sleep space has to feel just right. I kept the room dark at night and cleared out blankets or stuffed toys from the crib to keep it safe. Temperature matters too. I'd use a sleep sack or a fan to keep them comfy. Third, a bedtime routine is a game changer. For naps, I'd sing softly or read a book. At night, it was a bath, a lullaby, or a nightlight. It's like a signal. Hey, it's sleep time now. Lastly, don't start this during big changes like teething or sickness. I tried once when my baby was teething, and we all ended up exhausted. Wait until things settle down, it'll be so much smoother. Closing words. Parents, helping our little ones sleep well is never easy. But I truly believe that with love and patience, we'll find what works best for them. Controlled crying isn't perfect for everyone, but if it feels right for you, give it a try. I've had my doubts and worries, but seeing my baby sleep peacefully made it all worth it. Wishing you and your little ones the sweetest dreams.